Welcome to Lit with Ernest, the show where we cut through the noise and get to the heart of the matter. Today, we're talking about Percy Shelley, a man who lived life on his own terms and left an indelible mark on literature. Percy Bysshe Shelley was born in 1792 in Horsham, England, to a wealthy family with a long history of politics and law. But from a young age, Shelley's interests lay elsewhere, in the world of words and ideas. He was a curious and rebellious kid, always questioning authority and pushing boundaries. This spirit of inquiry and nonconformity would serve him well throughout his life and inform some of his most iconic works. Shelley's educational journey took him to Eton and then Oxford, where he became fast friends with fellow writers and thinkers like Lord Byron and John Keats. It was during this time that Shelley developed his passion for classical literature and his commitment to social justice. He was especially drawn to the ideas of the Enlightenment and the French Revolution, which emphasized the power of human reason and the importance of individual freedom. But Shelley's time at Oxford was cut short when he was expelled for publishing a pamphlet called The Necessity of Atheism. This bold move was characteristic of Shelley's willingness to challenge established norms and push the boundaries of what was considered acceptable. It also marked the beginning of his lifelong commitment to using his writing as a force for social change. Shelley's major contributions to literature are numerous, but some of his most famous works include Ozymandias, Prometheus Unbound, and Ernest. These poems showcase Shelley's mastery of language and form, as well as his deep engagement with the big questions of life, questions about beauty, truth, and the human condition. Take Ozymandias, for example. This sonnet is a powerful exploration of the fleeting nature of power and the dangers of hubris. It's a warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of humility. Shelley's work was also deeply influenced by the historical and cultural context in which he lived. The early 19th century was a time of great upheaval and change, with the Industrial Revolution transforming the economy and the Napoleonic Wars reshaping the map of Europe. Shelley's poetry reflects this sense of tumult and uncertainty, as well as his own commitment to social justice and human freedom. One of the most significant developments in literature associated with Percy Shelley is the rise of Romanticism. This movement emphasized the importance of emotion, imagination, and individual experience, and it sought to challenge the dominant literary forms of the time. Shelley was a key figure in this movement, along with other writers like Wordsworth, Coleridge, and Keats. But Shelley's legacy extends far beyond the literary world. He was a true radical, who believed in the power of human imagination to change the world. So, how does Percy Shelley's work relate to contemporary literature? Well, his influence can be seen in everything from punk rock to protest poetry, and his emphasis on individual freedom and creativity remains a powerful antidote to the conformity and commercialism of our times. For example, the poet and activist Allen Ginsberg was deeply influenced by Shelley's work, and his own poetry reflects a similar commitment to social justice and nonconformity. The same is true of writers like Adrienne Rich and Audre Lorde, who have used their work to challenge dominant narratives and promote social change. In conclusion, Percy Shelley was a true original, a man who lived life on his own terms and left an indelible mark on literature. He reminds us that art should be a force for social change, and that individual freedom and creativity are essential to a fulfilling life. That's all for today's Lit with Ernest. Like this episode if it hit true. Share it if you respect honest talk about books. Subscribe, because we'll do this again. This is Ernest, signing off.